Today the Brewable team finds itself at Whitefield, Bengaluru. We are visiting a microbrewery called Fox in the Field, where we will be joined by a very special guest, the one and only Priya Bala. A seasoned food writer and restaurant critic, Priya is curating for us an exotic collection of local Sri Lankan bar foods, where she will also be giving us some fabulous tips on how to pair these with our favorite beer styles. Let's go. So Priya, please tell us, at what point did you decide to pick food as a career path?
As a career was a bit of serendipity, but I've always been interested in food and cooking from the time I was a child. I started baking, I think, when I was about 7 or 8 years old, and I come from a family where all the women were splendid cooks, and then I was in the Times of India in Bombay, and the Bombay Times was launched. I think my memory serves me correctly, we were in between food critics, and my editor Bachikar Garya suggested I write the reviews, and it was very daunting for me as a newbie in my early 20s to be entrusted with commenting on restaurants, but I did that, and then I began to enjoy it.
And what is it about food and drink do you think that makes people want to come together and share it as an experience?
More than wanting to come together, I think eating and drinking together is one of the most community oriented communal things we can do for sheer pleasure and joy, and I really believe in that. And I think especially after the lockdown, when we were so isolated and missed human contact, the thing I missed the most was beer and conversations, or beer or whatever our drink of the moment was, with friends, and
And what can you tell us about Sri Lankan food culture? How does it stand out from that of the rest of? I mean, of course, food from around the world is different in its own ways, but what is that one thing about Sri Lankan food culture? What is its USP?
So I keep getting asked often whether it's like Kerala food or Tamil Nadu food. Well, yes and no. It shares some similarities with Kerala food in the sense of the use of coconut milk, and the way which all coastal cuisines kind of share that, it's seafood centered, etc. And Sri Lanka is an island with abundant seafood. But it's also very distinct in the use of spices. There are lots of spices. We use spices like cinnamon goes into things which it's not regularly used. The indigenous vegetables are very distinct, and the greens, and there's a use of dry fish. We use a condiment called moldy fish, which is a super dry tuna, which could be like the blachang of South Asia. Yeah, it's quite distinct, and if I think of a flavor of home or Sri Lanka, there are certain things they kind of symbolize Sri Lankan food. The entire menu here, I've drawn inspiration from what we call a repertoire, which is called short eats in Sri Lanka. It can be anything between a little snack to something on a high tea to something you have with Sri Lanka makes great meals, and or you have it with your arrack. So I'm starting with these patties, which are very popular snacks there.
I would say it's a very refreshing, very crisp, have a really spicy board. Sure.
Yeah, so I'm playing with both the refreshing nature of it, because the onion is very rich and caramelized and intense, and it has a little dusting of cinnamon and cloves. So I think that kind of complements the spice notes in the English beer. Mostly drunk with pub grub, but here they're going Orient Asian, and
yeah, I think it's a combination that really works.
We're moving on to our second dish now, and that is the Chinese roll. For some reason, called the Chinese roll in Sri Lanka. It's a crumb fried creation which has an intricate pancake inside it. This one is stuffed with chicken. It can be stuffed with all manner of things. We're pairing it with the Hefeweizen. So, Ruth.
Well, this is a Hefeweizen, FA German style wheat beer. Very light, very refreshing. It's got a very nice fluffy head. It's got a notes of caramel, clove and banana, which is very high on drinkability, and the range of alcohol up to 5.2 to 5.5.
Okay. So the Hefeweizen is one of my favorites, and this is also one of my favorites. Whenever I go to Sri Lanka, I have to eat like tons of these things. So it's beautiful, like, it's got a nice seasoned chicken inside, then it's in a pancake, and then it's crumb fried, so you can't go wrong with, when in doubt, crumb fry. And the Hefeweizen is easy. It's interesting. So I'm just putting together two things I like, and I think they go really well together. This again goes by the name of Malupang, which means fish bread in Sinhala. It's a very popular snack. It can be filled with, mostly it's filled with fish. So I've just reinterpreted it and put in some slightly sweet pork into it, and we're pairing it with the triple IPA.
Triple IPA is a fusion of Belgian triple and an American IPA. It's got an alcohol up to 7.8 to 8% alcohol. So it's an inspiration of a Belgian triple with an American IPA. So we have used American hops to give that nice hoppy touch, and alcohol, it's up to 8% alcohol.
Yeah, so it's a heavy beer. It's got hoppiness, also sweetness, right? Little touch of sweet.
Bitter and balanced.
Yeah, so it goes really nice because the pork filling is quite intense. It's got the fat, so it can actually stand up to the intensity of the beer. So I think that's a pairing that really works as well. So the next of my appetizers is the fish cutlet, which is an absolute favorite of mine. In Sri Lanka, we make it with canned fish for some reason, but here we have fresh, and it's very mildly spiced, just with green chili, hint of pepper, and crumb fried, obviously. And we're serving it with very interesting mustard mayo. And the beer we've chosen is the Saison Farmhouse, so I think Rup will be able to tell you more about that.
Coming to the Saison Farmhouse, it's a Belgian style inspiration. It's a farmhouse is a very easy drinking, high on carbonation, and got a very nice notes of orange and peppery notes. And the alcohol up to 6.8, which is relatively on higher side. Even though on the higher side, it's very easy drinking and very aggressive.
Yeah, so this pairing really works because this is something that you can just keep popping and into your mouth, as the beer also goes down really easily. The citrus notes are nice because it always goes with fish, and it also has a little lime juice, the fish in it. So I think it's a nice complementary thing, and yeah, you can't go wrong with this one. And on to dessert. So if you come to Fox in the Field during the Sri Lankan promo, want to keep drinking through dessert, we have the perfect solution. I've made a Vattalapam, which is Sri Lanka's most popular, most common, ubiquitous dessert. It's made with some of the island's ingredients. It's most well known for coconut and jaggery, palm jaggery, and spiced, scented with cardamom and nutmeg. And it's very nice. We're pairing it with the chocolate stout.
Chocolate stout is brewed with natural chocolate along with cocoa. It just gives a nice velvety and very creamy texture, and it is nitro infused to give the better carbonation, and it's very full bodied and very it has got a very creamy drinking aftertaste, which is very smooth and very palatable.
Yeah, so the texture is also what we're playing with. This is very creamy thing, and goes nicely with the velvetiness of the chocolates. So cheers, enjoy.
So that was Priya Bala on the fine nuances of Sri Lankan food culture and how it pairs with beer, the world's third most popular drink. Thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more tips on beer and food pairs.